Welcome to CBFU's talk about DC vs. Marvel movies, part 2. Right now we're going to talk about the different tones that the DC Universe movies have set and the Marvel movies have set. I think first goes without saying that the Marvel movies have a more joyful tone. There's humor in almost every Marvel movie you see, and the DC movies don't have that.
They're dark.
Yeah.
They're gray.
The color.
No, they're
cold.
Yeah.
Cold
They're
palettes.
cold.
There's no joy. Superman doesn't enjoy flying or being what he is.
Say what you will about Superman Returns. We were talking about that the other day. But Brandon Ruth, whatever his name was, he was like a happy
Superman. Yeah.
Happy deadbeat
and
dead
it was
Superman.
Like, the colors were like comic book colors.
bright.
It was bright and gold and like primary colors, and that's what Superman was.
I'll say from that movie, I think honestly, I enjoyed that movie. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I know it was too long. And devoid of any action whatsoever.
A shot for shot remake of the first one.
Oh, he punches
But
him.
that scene,
He got shot in the eye though. Did you see that scene?
that
There was
scene
bullet,
where he is,
really slow, really slow, and then it hit the eyeball, and it was like it impacted, and you're like, it's gonna go. No, it didn't go through. It just crushed, and it fell, and the dude was like, "Oh, I shot you, and it didn't hurt you."
But I'm just saying, like they captured the icon that is Superman. That scene where he's just floating out in space and he's telling you that he can the way he hears everything and how it like forces him to be this god essentially to the human race.
I'll disagree to an extent here. I think Henry Cavill did a pretty good job as a Superman, delivering just as good of a Superman as Brandon Routh did. Just a bad script. But he at least got to do Superman things. Unfortunately, they weren't the right Superman things.
Well, I mean, like Superman. Sorry, all you're trying to say. Yeah. Superman Returns. The critique is Superman didn't punch anything.
Yeah.
So they took that critique and they're like, now Superman will punch all the things.
This IHOP.
Yeah. Sears.
Clark Kent wanted him to punch children.
Yeah.
You kill those children. You don't let them see.
You kill them. I think their success with the Batman movies was it gave them the wrong lessons. They had such great success with the Batman movies, but they thought, well, the Batman movies worked. Green Lantern didn't work. Superman Returns didn't work. This is what the people want, and this is what we're going to give them.
Their parents.
Exactly, because like when you look at Green Lantern, like he's using his ring to make constructs of Hot Wheels toys. It was like a big plug for Mattel, but so you don't want to go in that campy direction anymore. And I understand DC's reluctance to do that, but at the same time, you have to pay attention to the characters that you're using on screen.
Find a middle ground.
There is not one Marvel Universe movie that doesn't have humor in it.
No.
Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Captain America, Avengers.
It also goes into the casting too, because when you look at the casting of those movies, My Little Pony,
He was naming everything.
But no, when you look at the casting of those movies, you have actors that really are there just to play the comedic relief. Kat Dennings in Thor 2 was hysterical.
Although there is a backlash for Kat Dennings, though.
Why?
Some people don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't like the Kat Dennings?
No, there is a lot of
He's
people that don't.
anti-Semitic. It's good.
He's alright to look at, but whatever.
I think that's pretty much something like it's pretty much the deal though. Like Marvel movies are when you go see a Marvel movie, it's fun, even if it's not a good Marvel movie, which is kind of debatable on what factors to be a good movie. It's still all fun.
Yeah.
You had fun in Iron Man 2?
I had fun in Iron Man 2. Yeah. Believe it or not, because you know what?
It just wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great.
Okay.
It was a big fall from the first one. Yeah. But I think a lot of that is that Robert Downey Jr. set the tone.
Yeah.
He set the tone for all
for being that charismatic.
He set the tone for Marvel movies, and Christian Bale set the tone for DC movies. I'm surprised Superman didn't talk like that.
I'm glad Superman didn't talk like that.
Superman didn't do a very good idea of hiding his identity either. Like there wasn't even the hair swirl.
He was like, "Hey Lois, I'm Superman." How did nobody recognize him at the end of the movie?
No, it was literally, I'm walking to the elevator with my glasses and my coat, and then it's like, oh yeah, hang on, let me get in the elevator.
That's the guy who destroyed our city!
No, I'm Clark Kent.
With no references, and no newspaper experience at all. I've been touring the world, whatever, who cares?
I wrote this awesome blog about Superman Destroying my hometown.
I can spell good and stuff.
They can't be really picky because everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead. Yeah.
But that one part in that movie, the part where he puts on the glasses,
Superman created jobs.
that was the only part that was a
Does anyone
little
want to
hopeful.
talk about that?
Yeah, that
It's
was fun.
true.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Obama.
It's you see, but
Superman created jobs in Metropolis.
You know how much
How
construction
many construction workers are back on the streets rebuilding shit?
I mean, and you know what? It really it's a
created-
shame that we have to make these comparisons, especially when you consider that essentially DC only has one movie in their docket for universe building. When you look at it, because they said Green Arrow really has nothing to do with the cinematic universe right now.
Go back to DC's afraid. They're afraid of being left behind.
Well,
And so, you talk about the fact that, we're going to be 40 by the time JLA 2. But it's not just about us. It's about your kids.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
They're not
it's
building
not
for the
just
next
for
generation.
us.
But no, when I
It's
say
for everybody.
But I also bring up that fact because if we're gonna be 40 and these characters that are in their 30s,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
the
you're
actors
going to
are
have to
recast.
recast.
Yeah. But
You want
they
to.
should have started.
Yeah.
They should have had a plan. Again, they should have had people who cared about comics. There's Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
They should have had a
absolutely.
plan like Marvel had Phase 1. After Iron Man came out, I'm pretty sure that's when Phase 1 started coming to be. They should have had that, and they should have gone.
Well,
But
Iron
then they did. They were
So,
doing Batman movies.
actually,
they
what
made
you look
movies
at, then
all
if
over
you're gonna
the
blame people, you're gonna blame Green Lantern. Obviously, gets
Yeah.
a huge
'Cause
chunk
of
of the
Tom,
blame. You blame Superman Returns essentially,
Yeah.
because if they could have continued to go with that world that they built with Brandon Routh, then I'm certain they would have.
Yeah.
But that didn't really do well for them in the box office. And then essentially, you have to blame Christopher Nolan, because his story, his Batman story, was very. It was like this very tight knit that this is my story and that's it. I want nothing to do with any other character.
I'm not totally sure on Superman Returns, but at least with Green Lantern, you still have David Goyer involved in
Yes.
all of these
Yeah.
films,
Yes.
and
And
this
that's
is
the
the
thing.
guy.
That's
This is
another
their
problem.
guy now, and it's worrisome.
It is.
But-
I have to say, because like what we were saying before, the Marvel movies are fun. You can enjoy them for all ages. Everyone's gonna enjoy it. But DC, it's becoming more for adults. We want the kids to be exposed to this too and enjoy it. I can say because my son, Avengers, he's never fallen asleep during any of the Marvel movies. He enjoys it. He's like, oh my god, But the DC ones, it's just like kids don't really enjoy them.
Yeah. No, I see that.
No.
When was the last time you
like
saw
Dark
like
Knight?
a...
Dark Knight was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best comic movies of all time.
I wouldn't take
Not a kid's
I wouldn't
movie.
take a
No.
5-year-old.
No.
It's
to
almost
watch
like
it.
it's so long and it's
The Joker's
yeah,
frightening.
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's very
it's
dark.
dark, but
dark.
it's great. But it's not for kids, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a crime movie.
And
Yeah,
like-
so DC's not even trying to build
Yeah.
for their future
No.
endeavors.
But
They're
no.
not at
That's
all.
what Marvel is
They
like.
seems
it's-
like they're narrow-minded.
they are.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
narrow.
But you can't blame Christopher Nolan Goyer for that.
Christopher
They
Nolan.
set out
We
to
blame Goyer a little
they
bit.
set out
yeah.
to make 3 Batman movies.
Yeah.
They made their Batman
Yeah.
movies, and they were successful.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. You have to. I still blame them because you have to blame their lack of
But Nolan-
vision for the future.
But Nolan never wanted to make
Yeah.
a JLA movie. He never
That's
wanted
true.
to make a Superman movie.
Okay, so
It's
then
not-
I guess the bulk of the blame goes to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
then,
Yes.
Because
you don't.
Warner Brothers wanted to take that.
you
Well,
have
Warner
this
Brothers needs a
franchise.
film franchise to follow
Warner-
Harry Potter,
They do.
Warner-
and they wanted it to be DC
And
films.
it's a good thing that Disney owns Marvel because they have such like they're so like connected. Because like adults can enjoy Disney movies too, or I can.
Yes.
No, yeah.
But I mean, like,
I'm really
and,
excited
like,
to
kids-
watch Frozen.
It was
Frozen's
great.
awesome.
It was great.
I mean, like kids and adults should be able to like enjoy these things. They're comic books. It should be enjoyed by everybody. Anybody who says that they should just be for adults, like Dan DiDio says that. a
No,
lot,
that
that's
whole
wrong.
nonsense of comics should be written for
We'll get to
40-year-olds
comics.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
Think about it though. We grew up on comic books. We weren't born as 20-something-year-olds just with comic books in our hands. Oh, this is awesome. No. We were kids and we were like, oh, this is so cool. So we want the kids to just
Hell.
enjoy it as much as we do.
Hell no, going off of that, and I'm sure I can speak for most of us here. For me, my earliest comic book memory is Adam West Batman series, and that's like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
that was my like.
How old
life.
are you?
No, it was in syndication. That shit was in
Absolutely.
syndication forever.
I remember watching that at my grandmother's house when I stayed.
It was the most amazing because it's just like holy shit, Batman. It's like it was fun and it was great, and then it was like. At the time, 1989 came around. And yeah, Batman, the Tim Burton Batman film came out, and I wasn't necessarily old enough to appreciate it at that time. But we got the Batman animated series after that, which still was focused not just on kids, but it also was fun for adults.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we got to grow up with these characters.
although the Batman movies, the recent ones, were good, imagine like kids watching it and seeing like a bus about to be blown up with kids, and they're just like, oh my god.
Traumatic.
It's
It's
way
traumatic.
too
you know?
dark.
And then like
Hospitals blowing up,
Superman, the school bus and
Yeah.
all that, and they're just gonna
Kids
be watching
drowning.
like, oh
Is this
my
gonna
god.
happen to me?
Yeah, what kind of lesson is that? You want your kids, maybe, look after yourself, But you want your kids to be like, I could be a hero sometime if I
They're
had
gonna
to
be terrified of
So
Superman.
really,
They're gonna think they're gonna die.
I'm scared of Superman.
So the trend that we're seeing is that DC doesn't want their characters to be loved by children.
No. In Warner Brothers films, it's like any kids that you see, it's like, oh, maybe we could die as collateral. In a Marvel film, maybe we could help Iron Man build an Iron Man
And
suit.
it's a little corny, but it works.
That's why I like it.
No, yeah.
Every Spider-Man movie, there's a
New
kid
York
helping
City
Spider-Man,
helps.
or New York citizens helping
That's
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
awesome.
picture a kid cheering at Superman breaking the neck at
No,
the end.
I would run.
But you can see him cheering at every single Marvel
Actually,
movie.
wasn't there a child about to die when Superman killed
Broke his
Zod?
neck,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. That
They
kid
should've
should have
just
been
ran
like,
the other way.
yeah, thanks for
record.
saving my life, Superman.
Mom, what
King,
happened to
King
our
Joffrey.
house?
King Joffrey and Batman Begins.
Okay, no, that kid should have died.
Batman let King Joffrey
He
live.
lived.
And so he's responsible for all
For
that
more
death.
darkness.
Yeah. You said the cartoons.
Yes.
And DC's cartoons are the best cartoons.
Yes.
Yes.
X-Men was an amazing cartoon. I loved X-Men because I'm a huge X-Men fan. But DC has the better cartoons. That's go out to
Especially their animated films.
yeah. And they
Yeah.
still do.
Oh my God.
Injustice was amazing cartoon.
But it
Wonder
never
Woman.
Yeah.
Never
The
happened.
Wonder Woman animated
Yeah,
film
Was
was
so
amazing.
good.
So
Batman
why-
Dark Knight Returns.
So why? Yeah.
Oh, I
That
thought you
was
were.
really-
I thought he was saying.
The Dark
So the
Knight.
Batman film.
It's not only that, but look
Wonder
at the
Woman.
liberties that they took with their animated world. Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It was amazing. Why can't the people who are in charge of that have a hand in the movie?
Different
Because
division.
no, as far as
Frontier was
Warner
amazing.
Brothers is, yeah.
Harley
as-
Quinn is not even a comic book
No.
character. He
Yeah.
came from the animated series
Yeah.
and got into the comic.
But-
Look how cute she is.
But the Warner Brothers film division just turns their nose up to that. It's like they don't want
That's
to.
cute.
They don't want to be involved in that. And we've heard plenty of people say stuff like that. Like Paul Dini's gone on to say it. He said it on podcasts where it's just like where he was asked, it's like, well, why haven't you guys ever been brought on to do some of these films? He's like, well, we tried, but they don't want us.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Lugo and
Jarryd here.
Jarryd, and we're gonna talk about everything relating to basically the X-Men cinematic universe,
You know, cinematic.
if you want to call it that, because it's woo. But yeah,
the
Days
not
of-
X-Men cinematic universe is more like it. As you can see, we've chosen our sides. This is Team Wolverine over here. I'm
All
Team
day.
Cyclops. And really, we got a couple of gripes with Fox, to say, the least. There's some things, some inaccuracies that we think really need to be rectified for the X-Men franchise, things that they need to put straight. And we're going to talk about them. You may or may not agree with us, but we're going to give it to you the way we feel.
and plus we're right. We know we're right.
Cyclops was right.
No, that's another episode. Anyway, Days of Future Past is coming out next year, and it has I don't want to say potential, but it's so far from what I've been seeing, it looks like a giant mess. This might be the way they're gonna fix the whole mess that they've done with the First Class and the stories changing, and the whole Emma Frost being a little kid and Wolverine.
Basically,
origin.
what he's trying to say is the inconsistencies have a chance to be rectified.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that Fox has a very, very good chance right now to get on track with their X-Men franchise and kind of put it in a position to be a cinematic universe in its own standing, After Days of Future Past, a story that deals heavily with time travel, we could see the Fox cinematic universe take the X-Men and kind of reboot them, but still maintain the story that they've set up. After Days of Future Past, we could see possibly, with the timeline being corrected, maybe starting off fresh with the original 5 X-Men, something that fans have been,
usually like stories go, you start at the beginning with the original cast. Apparently when they did First Class, they thought the original cast was boring, which
not
shows you how
boring.
much
I
they
think
know.
They just they kind of pushed those to the side for the more popular characters. We did get Storm in the first film. We got Wolverine in the first film.
Yeah, we got Banshee, we got Darwin. I'm talking about First Class.
Oh, that's the first one? That's our starting point now? We're starting at First Class, everybody. Get your X-Men timeline right. So according to Fox, it's First Class, which did not include any of the original 5 X-Men. Oh, wait, no, not true. We got Beast. We did get Beast. Mystique apparently was the first X-Men. We got Banshee as one of the first X-Men. Darwin actually could be considered one of the early class, but we didn't learn about him until Deadly Genesis, and that was some time later, much after the first class of X-Men hit. But what Fox can do after, what we're hoping Fox does after Days of Future Past, is kind of get a clean slate, you know? Hugh Jackman's reaching up there in the ages, and, you know, and we really want to...
It's we love Hugh Jackman. He did a good Wolverine, but he's not, you know, he's gonna get old, and eventually we're gonna need a new Wolverine. But regardless,
saying Taylor Lautner for Wolverine. Is that what the people are pushing for? He plays a werewolf.
It's either him or Idris Elba. But anyway,
John Goodman for Wolverine. Everybody, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Well, one of my wishes was for Days of Future Past was that they either send somebody back in time, send Bishop back in time and change everything because it's a mess, or just flat out send Bishop back in time and just stop him from stop Bryan Singer from making any other movies. But they could really just clean this all up. When X-Men the first X-Men came out, I was mad hyped, mad excited. Saw it at midnight. When I saw it then, I was like, oh, cool, all right, because back then I think we had just Batman, a couple of Supermans, not a couple.
We had Blade.
Shitload. We had Blade, which was awesome. Well, till part 3, and Glory for Life.
But also, you know, when the X-Men movies came out, they did do something that was comparable to what was in the comics at the time. You know, Grant Morrison had just come in, he took over, and we did have the X-Men clad in leather, you know? So now that they're more on the superhero role in the comic books, you kind of want a film that's going to reflect that. And I think that's what Fox has a chance to do, is to get on that and actually make the X-Men superheroes.
The main thing that Fox needs to focus on is remembering that the X-Men is a team. They're a team. There's different members, and they each have how do you call it?
A niche.
Yeah. Basically, every X-Men movie that's come out has been Wolverine and his friends. Every single movie.
It's even called the Adamantium Collection.
Yeah. First Class, they stayed away from it, but even he had a cameo. But there's other characters. The X-Men have a shitload of characters that they could choose from.
A huge roster, you know, and there's a lot of interesting characters too that don't get a chance to shine. You know, we have Sunfire. You know, how great would that be to see, like, you know, a really prominent Asian character being portrayed for once? I think he's incredibly interesting. Yeah. I mean, Nightcrawler was an amazing character in X-Men 2, and he never even got a callback, even though I think that had something to do with Alan Cummings' contract or something like that. So.
But yeah, they have basically my idea. Fox, if you're listening, you can take it. I won't say anything. I won't be like, that was my idea. You can take it and just use it, please.
Screw that. I want royalties.
No, I'd rather just sit back and watch a good X-Men movie. Basically, start at the beginning, original team. Trust me, if you really try, Cyclops, Iceman, Marvel Girl, Beast, and Angel are really good characters. If you work on them. Angel, you can just give him a bazooka.
Well, no, you gotta have a character that can fly. And, you know, starting Marvel Girl out with her full, you know, power set would kind of be unfair, really.
Yeah. And at the end of that, finish it with them going to Krakoa. And then the next movie, just call it Uncanny X-Men. Introduce the other X-Men, like, you know, Wolverine, Thunderbird, Storm, Sunfire, Banshee.
Exactly, yeah.
And, you know, work from there and just really try to give time to the other characters. Cyclops, believe it or not, people, is a good character. He has a lot of stuff that I love about him. And given the chance, he could really, like, impress people. But usually people just throw him to the side. He's the leader. Even
just seeing his power portrayed on screen would be really cool. Just seeing like a fully unleashed optic blast. I mean, we got one in X-Men 1 and it barely made a hole in the roof of a train station, you know? This is a guy who can blow up mountains by looking at it. I want to see that. I want to see something like that.
He's a great leader. If you ever read, Second Coming, X-Men, he rips it. He's
A tactical genius comparable to Captain America. There it is. I said it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not just about Cyclops and, the popular X-Men characters. Throw in cameos all over the place. It's such a rich world. Like, to not see those characters represented is a shame.
Yeah, what's up? Cannonball. There's Cannonball. There's
the New Mutants. It's a franchise waiting to be explored. And
Cypher,
Fox really hasn't
Doug
been.
Ramsey for life. His power is...
But we have Mark Miller on hand now, and he's worked very closely to the X-Men in the past, the Ultimate line.
We're hoping. We're really big fans. We've been fans for a long time, and we really want an X-Men movie that we can say that matches Avengers. Because Avengers, the main thing about Avengers was it was a team movie, and they focused on each and every character. Some got a little, shine more than others, but they all got.
Looking at you, Hawkeye.
Yeah, but they were good. So that's what I want from X-Men, and hopefully we'll get that in the future. And if we don't, that's life. But
you're on the right track, Fox. You can do this. Days of Future Past is a step in the right direction. So just wrap up this era of X-Men. The First Class, Hugh Jackman era, and let's bring it back to the basics. Let's take it back to what the X-Men are about. So that's what we want to see, and we're hoping that maybe in the near future we can get a legitimate X-Men movie.
And tell us what you would want in an X-Men movie. Out of an X-Men movie, what characters you would like seeing in the comments below. Just tell us what would make the perfect X-Men movie for you.
I'm campaigning for Beak right now. Let's go.
Beak. Yeah, the morph.
All right, guys. So X-Men all day, as you can see. We represent. We'll be seeing you soon. Yeah. We're out.